Hey everybody, welcome back to Psyched About Life, where we talk about psychology, life growth, and personal development. Today's video is all about my new workbook that I just got. It is all about anxious attachment. This is the beauty. Oh, wrong book, sorry. This is the beauty. So this is kind of a guide for you to navigate through yourself as a person with your relationship. It will help you kind of understand why you have this attachment style and how to navigate through it and overcome the negatives that may be associated with it, and how to cope also with some of, I call it side effects of having this attachment style, but you can say just coping through it. So I didn't get through much of it. For the most part, attachment styles are really patterns of expectations, needs, and behaviors in relationships formed in response to the nature of caregiving received in childhood. When we're talking about anxious, we don't know all the time if this parent will be there for us. We end up feeling anxious. This parent is not always here when we need them. And so we have to resort to trying to navigate it alone and without this parent, right? So that's anxiety. A little bit about this. It talks about emotional intelligence in nurturing relationships. It talks about the 5 core components of emotional intelligence. We talk about self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Now, these all make up that emotional intelligence. Why is emotional intelligence important and lacking in this anxious attachment? Well, think about it. If your parent is emotionally unavailable and is not there responsive to all your needs, whatever they may be, besides the basic human needs of water, food, and a roof over your head, they're not there for you emotionally. They lack that emotional intelligence, right? So this is why it's so important to have emotional intelligence. It encompasses relieving stress, communicating effectively, like we mentioned, emphasizing with others, overcoming challenges, and diffusing conflict. So one example I can think of off the bat of from my own experience, Mom, I hope you're not watching this, diffusing conflicts, it was more so it involved her most of the time when things were kind of escalating. It was always conflict. It wasn't let's talk in a calm, effective way. Communication was usually full of emotion. It wasn't really effective, but also empathy, right? So have you ever had a parent that tries to make their emotions more valid than yours, or try to make yours feel invalid, or tell you to get over something really quickly, or just not really give much attention to how you're feeling, and that's not even that serious? I don't know why it upset you. They're just not listening to you and not taking what you're feeling into consideration, or they make it all about themselves. Well, that's another word. We don't want to say that word, but that's another kind of parent. We're going to talk more so about anxious attachment, but you'll see a lot of these parenting characteristics. We see that in what creates this anxious attachment style, this anxious person. I do want to skip through this and talk more about how it will impact our relationships with other people, whether it's romantically or platonic or familial. So I do kind of want to fast forward a little bit. Here we go. So anxious attachment behaviors often manifest as a need for constant reassurance. Let's take this back to our childhood. We were not reassured. Our feelings were not valid. Our communication, we were not heard, right? It was always us needing to get over it or deal with it by ourselves, try to come up with our own coping skills on our own time, and just not being heard and not being valid, like I've said already a million times. Difficulty trusting our partners, right? Clingy and needy because we're scared that they're going to leave us, right? And we have to keep proving that you're worth the time. We have to keep on keeping on, keep on trying to get that reassurance, because if we don't, we're feeling that anxiety, anxious attachment, but also that need to just always be given attention and reassured. We feel very hollow. It gives us that hollow feeling. So identifying this attachment, right, the anxious attachment behaviors, is vital. A couple of things I'm just going to mention and we'll get over this topic. Recognizing these behaviors, develop strategies to manage anxiety. We want to develop awareness. The awareness enables individuals to work on their emotional responses and develop healthier ways of relating to other people. Recognizing and addressing anxious behaviors can lead to significant personal growth and improved relationship dynamics. So most of our outcomes are affected by the way we react. not the action itself, not what was said itself, but how we actually react to it. That is where a lot of the juice, let's say that the burger is the conflict, the burger is the problem. The juice is how we're reacting. It's like the juicy part of the burger or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is how we react really will give us the outcome we desire, correct? If we're mindful. And really, emotional intelligence is a huge part of this. Let's talk a little bit about managing these behaviors. Like we said, mindfulness. Mindfulness practices are a cornerstone of managing anxious attachment behaviors by fostering an attitude of non-judgmental awareness. How many of us, raise your hand, are hard on ourselves? Raise your hand if you're hard on yourself. It could be that we were raised in an environment where we always had to prove ourselves, prove that we can do this. We were never reassured, right? We were never valid. And so it's like that constant need to perform and to cling and to keep showing up, keep until we literally completely dry ourselves out and we're overworked. We're not even giving it quality anymore to our relationships. We're just kind of like there to be there. It's not the right way to be. It's not healthy, if that made sense. Journaling is powerful because you're writing down and you're getting through the nitty-gritty of all your thoughts and your fears and your desires openly, facilitating a deeper understanding of your attachment behaviors and their triggers. It can help you track patterns. A lot of the times journaling is just finding the pattern, right? Seeing if there is something that making those connections. Cognitive behavioral techniques. So CBT is rooted in the understanding that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are interconnected. By identifying, and we've talked about this in other videos, by identifying and challenging the negative thought patterns that contribute to anxious attachments, that is catastrophic thinking or mind reading, you can begin to alter the emotional and behavioral responses that follow. These techniques often involve structured exercises to practice reframing thoughts, thus promoting more balanced and realistic perspectives. So like I said, a lot of the time it's how we react to something than the actual action itself. Try saying actual action a million times. Actual action. Anywho, CBT allows us to reframe our thoughts, making what we think our own perspective. You know what you could do, actually? I just came to a realization. In a journal, you know, to say like Dear Diary or list everything you've done in every day, you can start out by writing one thought you've had and then name several ways to see it from a different perspective. And then see from that list which one is going to give you the better outcome, which one is the more positive. Because if we can see in different perspectives, we are giving ourselves the chance to grow. We are giving ourselves the chance to see in a different way. If you only see in one way, you're limiting yourself. You're limiting the possibility of a better outcome. And that's really what this video is about. It's like, let's not let's be open. Number one, let's be open. Let's not let our past repeat itself and let us define ourselves. How we were as kids, we understand that, right? We understand our childhood, how it made us who we are today, the troubles it may have brought us. But we try to get past it, see it for what it is, and not try to repeat the past. The worst thing you can do in life is not grow and is to continue repeating the past. So that's the main takeaway, I think, in this video. This book's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of exercises in the back as well. I might do some setting boundaries, then reflection, real world examples and role play, seeking common ground and compromise. A lot of it is effective communication, active listening, and validation. Honestly, I'm gonna put a star here. I might make a part 2 of this video and go over this because I think that this chapter 6, is gonna be awesome. So stay tuned for more videos on anxious attachment. I feel like there's so much to uncover in this workbook, so I just want to share good stuff with you, okay? All the goodies. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video wasn't too all over the place. I really tried to say it for what it is and give it to you guys because there really is no better way than like talking about this through experience, but also just being completely vulnerable and honest with you guys on the message from this topic of anxious attachment style. There's a bunch of other attachment styles, but this one for me, it resonates. Detached as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and goodbye.